Thank you for joining us on Travel Time today. My name is Tracy, and with me today my guest is Nancy Hebert. Thanks for joining me, Nancy.
Thank you.
I was excited to talk to Nancy about her trip today. She went to Isla Mujeres, and we just get not a ton of people that go to Isla Mujeres. Tell me about where Isla Mujeres is, because I know you heard.
One of the things that's neat about it is you're still flying to Cancun, so which most people know is relatively inexpensive to fly to Cancun. And once you get to Cancun, they transport you to, now I call it a boat, but it's a very large two-deck boat that moves across very quickly, so it's not like you're on a little fishing boat with rows. And I think that boat goes back and forth every half hour.
Okay, sure. About how long is that transfer?
Oh, 10, 15 minutes.
See, that's not bad at all. Great. And so how big is that island in general? How many resorts do you think are on that island?
You know, resort-wise, I don't think there's a whole lot. It's more than there used to be, but what's neat about the resort, or the area where the resorts are, is they're kind of spread out. Where we were staying, there were no other resorts right by us. There were a couple of bars/places people could come for the day trips, but we didn't have resorts next to us.
And that's nice. And you stayed at the Isla Mujeres Palace, and it's by Wyndham, the Wyndham property. Yep. So it's a nice resort, and it's smaller in scale, typically to a lot of Mexico resorts.
Yeah, we've stayed at a lot of all-inclusive resorts, and most of the time, you know, we look for them to be smaller, but used to be smaller was a couple hundred.
Exactly.
And this one, I think, only had 70 rooms. Between 70 and 80 rooms, and it was couples only, which we enjoy. We don't have children, so for us to go on vacation, it's more enjoyable if there's not children in the pool and out of the pool. Yeah. The other thing that was neat about this resort is that it was very high class as far as food goes and quality of food goes. When you do an all-inclusive, you're not always expecting top-notch food, but this was presentation and very high-quality food.
Service as well? How was the service there?
Yeah, the service was very good. In fact, we joked about it. We think they stand like in the wings and wait for your glass to be empty, and they're filling it virtually before you've taken the last sip. It's not even 30 seconds. If you put a plate to the edge of the table, somebody's there. In fact, we've even dished our food up like at the breakfast buffet. They don't want you to carry the plate to the table. Oh, wow. They'll come get the plate from you to take it. Oh, wow. So the service was very good.
That is very nice. How did you like the rooms while you stayed there?
The rooms were pretty good. The only thing that's probably not as nice about that one is there's limited ocean front. Because it's only a 70-room hotel, there's only probably maybe 8 or 9 rooms that face the ocean. So if you're somebody that wants an ocean front, you need to be very specific about that because they're so limited. But the quality of the room was very nice. We were on the back side of the resort, which in a way was nice because it was very quiet. You know, we go to bed a little bit earlier, and it was quiet when it was time for us to go to sleep.
Great. And a note on the rooms thing, that is tough anywhere in Mexico. Even in the larger resorts, they shape them like a U a lot of times, so you can get some partial ocean views, but you have a lot of the garden views, and definitely oceanfront is hard to come by. So definitely that's something for people to keep in mind if they are you know, explicitly want that ocean front. Tell me a little about, you said you wanted to discuss the difference in the one coast to the next.
Oh, yeah. The island itself, and I might not be exactly right with this, but I think it's about 1 mile wide, but maybe 5 miles long.
Sounds about right.
So it's a pretty small island, and you go into town, and you can rent a golf cart for either an hour or half a day or a day even. So we rented it, and we were able to drive the entire island. There's really only one main road kind of on each side, but the side that we were staying on would be the side of the island that faces Cancun. Which I would say is, you know, not rocky. It's more beachy, you know, Caribbean looking to it. The other side was more rocky, and it looked like a totally different island on the opposite side. Plus, that's where a lot of the residents' homes and things were, so you could drive around and see what the homes looked like.
Very
So it was very different from one side to the other.
That's kind of neat to see that on such a small piece of land.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Now, the package you did, I believe, included your flights, your transfers. We put everything together for you. Did it work out pretty smoothly for you?
Yes, it was. The transfers were very good. The other thing that's nice about that particular chain is at the time they were giving resort credits. So you could take trips and have massages and do some upgrades that normally you might not do, and they were quote-unquote free credits from the resort. So that was really nice too.
Great, great. And then renting the golf cart while you were on there, was that real expensive or not?
No, it wasn't. And in fact, if we would do it again, I think we would do the full day and take it back to the hotel with us, you know, and then the next day drive it back in, because we just did it for a few hours, and you know, we probably would have done it longer.
Sure, sure.
Had we known.
It's fun. I've done that before.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. That's all the time we have for today. You can call us here at 847-9231 at Travel Travel, or stop in and see us at the Washington Square Mall. Thanks again.
Thank you.